Welcome, happy stampers. This is Judy Anderson from judystamps.com, and I'd like to welcome our live viewing friends as well as those of you watching on replay. I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule today to join us. As you're coming on, please say hello and let me know what you're doing today. Are you paper crafting? Have you done your fall decorating yet? Let us all know what you're up to. So today we are going to be doing a fun technique, and we're going to be using the Blooming Phrases stamp set as well as 5 ink colors. Well, we're actually using crushed curry, pumpkin pie, cherry cobbler, and then the 5th is our craft white ink. Like I said, we're going to be using the Blooming Phrases stamp set. I'm going to move this out of the way here and move our white craft pad out. We're going to use pecan pie as a base, crushed curry as a mat, and then we have 2 pieces of berry vanilla, and we have got a strip. And this strip comes from my cutoffs. When I need a piece that's smaller than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, I cut that 1/2 inch off, and I save those for sentiment strips. I'm going to move that out of the side. We're also using our Sunflower 3D embossing folder. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have been playing with this so much, and I've told you before, this is got to be one of my favorite embossing folders ever that we've had. It has so many possibilities, and I just can't stop playing with it. We're also using our 2025 to 27 ink color flat pearls to embellish today. So we're going to start out with one of the pieces of our vanilla cardstock. I'm going to grab a mat here because we're going to make a mess. So we're also using our blending brushes. I'm going to start with crushed curry. And when I do this, I'm going to think of triangles. Okay, and we're putting 4 colors on this piece of paper. And don't be afraid to spread out your blending when you do this. So like I said, I'm going to think of triangles. So I'm going to start here with this, and I'm going to start up in this corner. And I'm going to do it a little bit darker and then fade out as I go out. And then I'm going to do one here. And you're going to notice that I'm not re-inking my brush. I have got plenty of color here. So there's my first triangle. Okay, we're going to close this ink pad up. And this is a fun technique to practice your blending on because there's no wrong or right way of doing it. I do take my brush in both directions, and then I put it in my lid or the bottom of the pad and move that ink around. And I can always pick up more ink here. So now I'm going to go with my this color, and let's do this one in this corner. And just keep blending that color. It will blend for you. And we're going to go here, put this one in here, and you're going to notice that I go in both directions, and I am overlapping my color here. This one, it's going to be kind of a crooked triangle, but I still have my triangle here, and I'm pushing with my finger right here on the head for my pressure. Okay, so we've got that one. And normally when I do this, I start with my lighter color and go to my deepest color. And you're probably thinking, well, pecan pie is darker than cherry cobbler. Not really. Cherry cobbler is a very strong color. These are all fall colors. I was going to do a purple in here, like a blackberry bliss, but I decided to go ahead and use the pecan pie. So I'm going to do this one in between here, overlapping, going in both directions. Now, you can probably need to re-ink this pad. Not getting much color out, so I want to put that there. So there's that. So I'm going to do this corner and that corner over there. I'm going to blend this in there, both directions. And I am pressing pretty hard on this, you guys. Don't be afraid to push, because you're not going to break it as long as you got your finger here on the head. I'm going to put this right here and here, and see how as I'm blending, it's melting into those other colors. Okay, and now we're going to do the cherry cobbler. Now, cherry cobbler, it looks like I'm going to have a little bit more color. I'm going to pick it up from the lid because this color is a deeper color, a stronger color. So I'm going to do my triangle. So I'm looking here, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to take this in here and just keep blending that in. Take it over here, blending and filling in those white spaces. I'm going to pick up some more color because I do want this color to stand out. Just keep rubbing and blending. I'm going to put this one right up here. This one's going between the pumpkin pie and the crushed curry. Picking up color. Now I know this is going to be quite strong, and since I'm in the beginning, I'm going to brush off some of that color here. Start light and then go darker. Okay. Looks kind of blotchy, doesn't it? Don't worry. Now, you want your ink to dry thoroughly before you do this next step. So I'm going to take my heat gun here. Start it up. I want to dry this ink. I want to make sure it's good and dry. If your paper starts to curl, flip it over and add a little bit of heat this way. It'll end up uncurling in the next step. Don't burn your paper, just you want your ink to dry thoroughly. Okay, so that's, sorry, talking over that heat gun. Okay, so our ink is dry. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take our embossing folder and we're going to decide which section we want and where we want that color at. So I kind of want the browns or that pecan pie to be here in the leaves. So I'm just going to turn this and maneuver it a little bit till I get that right like that. Okay, so you need to make sure that your paper is on the inside of your embossing folder. So let's just turn that a little bit. I'm going to lower it a little bit. So I am looking at my flowers and the leaves to see where I want this to go. I'm going to move this up just a tad bit. We're all within the parameters. So I'm going to grab my cut and emboss machine. And you guys are probably going to be surprised at how quickly this goes. So I have platform 1, then your embossing folder with the folded end going in first, and then our platform 4. And I've got my handle on the wrong side. So do it backwards here. And just roll that through. Okay. Move that out of the way. We can move this out of the way. Now, this is going to be beautiful. Now, look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? But we're going to make it even more gorgeous. Is that a word? Is that such a thing? Oh my gosh. So I'm going to bring my paper back in here. I'm going to move my blending brushes out of the way for just a second. We're going to use them again in a minute. And now we're going to take our white craft pad. And you're going to notice my white craft pad is kind of different colors. That's because I've been doing this technique quite a bit, playing with it. All we're going to do is take our pad, and I like the side with less of the lid on it, and we're just going to rub this across it. And look at this. Look how those pop. Do you see that? It almost looks like it's pearlized. It's beautiful. You are going to pick up color onto your pad, even though your ink is dry on here. And this is going to stay wet for just a little bit. So I am once again going to take my heat tool to it to dry it. Pigment inks take longer to dry. So let's just throw a little bit of heat on there. Okay, it'll dry while we're doing the rest of it. We're just going to set that to the side, but isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. You really can't see how gorgeous it is in real life. You guys, it's picking up the darker colors there, but I'm telling you, it's my favorite technique right now. Okay, we're going to grab our embellishments, our papers, and our stamp set. So I am going to take my strip, and for this one, I'm going to use Thinking of You. Now, the Thinking of You is too wide for this. So we need to decide which color we want to pick up. Now, we do have the base that is pecan pie, so we could do pecan pie. If you want the pumpkin pie to stand out more, use your pumpkin pie or your cherry cobbler. Now, the cherry cobbler is sticking out pretty well, so I'm going to go ahead and reach for my pumpkin pie. Now, while I ink this stamp up, I'm just going to ink the Thinking Of. Okay, tap, tap, tap. Make sure I get that on there good. I'm going to practice here. Perfect. What I love about this technique is it's quick, it's easy. You can make a card within just a few minutes. So there's the Thinking Of. Now I'm going to clean my stamp off very good, because now we're going to stamp the U. So we've got the Thinking Of, and now we just want the U. So I'm only inking up the U on my ink pad. Okay, and we're going to put that right here, lining it up. So we just have that strip. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to decide the placement of this. And I've decided that on this card, it doesn't need a lot. And because I don't want to take away from this. So you're going to want to decide what you want your feature to be. So we could put it down here, and we're going to put it at an angle. If we put it up, if your card was going to go this way, we could do it right across here, but I like it at an angle. We could do it this way, and then we're getting a lot of the flowers. But you know what, I'm going to do a horizontal card because I've been doing the vertical cards. So we're going to do the horizontal card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue right here. And I like using the glue for this because of the embossing. Sometimes your tape doesn't stick real well to it. And because we've got that pigment ink on there and it's not quite dry. So I'm going to move this. I want to make sure that this corner does not go inside my card. And I'm just going to angle it right across there. Okay, I'm going to press it for just a minute so it sits there. Then I'm going to grab my scissors and we're going to trim that off. Okay, oops, need a little bit more glue on there. Okay. Press that down. Now we're going to flip this over and we're going to trim that strip. trim it here, here, and then right here. Okay, so that's going to be the front of our card. And I forgot to do something. I want to take a little bit of my crushed curry and just brush over this a little bit. I just want to tone down that vanilla. I don't want it to stand out quite as much. So that has just toned it down just enough. Okay, now we're going to take our mat. We're going to adhere this onto our mat. Once again, using the liquid glue, because as you can see, that embossing is quite deep, and I want this to stand on here. Now, by putting this on here, look how that yellow of the crushed curry just pops. Okay, it totally changes. So each step changes the look of this card. Look at that. I don't know. It's just beautiful. We're going to take our card base. Go ahead and move this out of the way. And grab my bone folder here. Let's go down. There we go. And go ahead and burnish the edges. Like I said, we're going to do this one vertically. Let's push this down so it holds. Okay, we're going to put some adhesive on the back of this. Look how quickly this is coming together. I'm going to share with you the card that we're doing in my classes this week, or this month. That uses the same technique. We use different colors, but it's the exact same technique, and the girls are loving it. Okay, we're going to do the inside now. I don't want to put on the inside yet, but I do know that I just want to go around the edges and bring some of that color to the inside. And I think I'm going to bring a little bit of pumpkin pie in here. So let me grab the pumpkin pie brush, go down here, and just in spots, not all the way around. Just bring some of that color. It's like that. And see how that just kind of took that starkness, even though the vanilla is not white. It's a warm white. It's a creamy. Let's go here. Just put that inside here. Okay, so now I wanted a couple of embellishments. So I am going to grab my embellishments here. Yeah, where did I put them? Well, I have another pack of them. Luckily. No, don't have the other pack handy. Oh my gosh, how many of you guys lose things? I'm sure you don't. I'm sure I'm the only one, and I know it was here. Here they are. How many of you were yelling? Underneath the stamp set. So these are the colors that we have. And I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go with the blue. I'm going to go with the Timid Tiger. And we're going to use 3 sizes. Now we're going to think of a triangle. I'm also going to think of which flower I want to highlight. Ooh, that blends in too much. I might end up going with the Secret C, even though we didn't use Secret C on here. I'm going to use Secret C. I like that. So we're going to highlight the words here. 1, 2, and then the small one down below. So we're highlighting the sentiment here. Now I'm going to show you a little treat. I'm going to show you a couple different color combinations. So I'm going to grab my embossing folder. We're going to just put this to the side in a minute. And so on this one, I used the Darling Duckling, Pumpkin Pie, Blackberry Bliss, and Pecan Pie. So let's see what that one turns out to look like. So once again, I'm going to put it in here. We're going to move it a little bit. We're going to have this flower right here be the highlighted flower. So we're going to put that up in the corner up there. Let me get my platform. So what I recommend, if you want to make a bunch of these cards, is sit down with colors and just do your blending. Okay. Ooh, I love this one too. Look at this. Isn't it gorgeous? Oh, the camera just doesn't do it justice. This one is the same colors we just used, just in a different combination. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit to show you how, depending on where you put your paper, is going to be what shows up the most. Let's go backwards with this one. Put our machine to the side. So this is the same color combination. It just has a lot more of the yellow, the crushed curry. Or actually, you know what? This one has the timid tiger. This one's got timid tiger on it also. So now we're going to take our white craft. These are good and dry because I did these ahead of time. So let's just rub over the tops of them. And look how it begins to change it. Can you guys see that? I just love this. Now I want to show you. There we go. Now, instead of doing the white, I am going to choose to do, let's do the pecan pie on here. So I'm going to rub this one with the pecan pie. So it is going to look different. It's going to change it totally. So watch. Look at that. Look at how it's so different just by changing your ink colors. Just like that. So, got that. That's got that deeper, more folly look to it, but you can really see that ink on that one. The white is a little bit harder to see, especially on camera with my light. Okay, so there's those two. So if we were going to change that up, look at this. So look at the difference here. See how that changes that? Tell me which one you like. Here's this one. Okay, see it doesn't show up as much on the camera. So here is one, the one we did. Number 2, number 3. So comment, let me know which one you like the best. And then I'm going to share with you the card that we are making in our classes. And that's this card. So can you see that? Look at that. Look how beautiful that looks. Tell me, can you guess what colors I used on here? Beautiful. So here, let me come up closer with this. So there we go. We can see it a little bit better when I get closer. Look at that. I really like the color blue I used on the one we're doing in class this month, and this one. This one is striking. All the same technique, just using different colors. And this one, a different ink to brush over the top. So let me know which ones you like. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Comment below. I hope you guys enjoyed this technique. Give it a try and share right here on my page a picture of your card when you have it done. So until we meet again, everybody, happy stamping.